Hi, it's Kathleen Bailey from Bailey Academy. Mom of five, homeschooling three of them, ages 9, 11, and 15. Today we're talking homeschool regrets. This is a collaboration uh, with the Chan 7, and this is only my, I think, third collaboration, so I'm having fun sharing with other YouTubers, homeschool YouTubers, um, about common topics. So this one is about homeschool regrets. So when you're done watching my video, please check down in the comments to see the playlist to the other homeschool YouTubers who have participated the in this playlist and check out what their homeschool regrets are. So I want to talk to you one-on-one. I don't have a list of homeschool regrets. I have one homeschool regret, and that's not homeschooling sooner. But that there's more to it than that. I actually did homeschool sooner. People tend to think of me as a new homeschooler. I've been homeschooling in just over a year, but technically I homeschooled preschool when my two oldest were in ages 2 and 3. So that was about 14 years ago. Before I even had kids, I wanted to homeschool. I read all about homeschooling. I planned, what kind of homeschooling I might want to do, what things I did or didn't want to do, and I read and read and read and read and read and read and read all about homeschooling. When my kids were young, I discussed it with my husband, and at first he wasn't sure that homeschooling was the best idea, but I talked to him about the pros and cons, and we decided to give it a try for preschool and then JK and SK, because kindergarten is not mandatory here. So we figured we'd try it out with homeschooling and then make the decision from there. Ultimately, after homeschooling preschool, which went well, we ended up deciding not to send the kids to, to send the kids to school. The main decision being two health issues of mine. I get chronic migraines, and I have bipolar. So because of mental health and migraines, we decided that you can't just not homeschool your kids, was my thought, just because you have a migraine. I realized that that's not necessarily true now. I mean, you can't do it every day, obviously, but if you have a bad day, you can take it off and make it up later. But I was thinking, oh, you have to homeschool every single day. If you can't have a migraine or you're depressed, you can't just not homeschool for 3 months at a time, which makes sense. What I didn't realize is that homeschooling is actually better for my mental health, and my migraines are under control now. I just needed to find the right medication. But I also, like I said, didn't realize that you could adjust your schedule based on your migraines. So we decided to send the kids to school, and it wasn't until a year ago, just this past February, a year from that, we decided to homeschool. And it was because we were sick and tired of, well, there's lots of reasons, but my children have health issues. We were in special needs. We were sick and tired of going from regular school to online school, back to regular school, and just the way things were, and the way things are being taught. There was a whole bunch of reasons. That's not what this video is about. But my husband suggested maybe we should homeschool them. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'm seriously considering that this should be a better choice for us. And I wish he had said that sooner, because once we had decided not to homeschool, I had assumed that homeschooling was off the table. Well, so once, I was more medicated and better controlled, I just assumed that was it. We couldn't, and so I guess that is a second homeschooler's regret, not bringing it up with my husband again sooner, because now this is my second year homeschooling, and my kids are already past the primary age, and most of them are past my son is going into grade 7 next year, technically, and so he's basically, they don't do junior high around here, but it's the same idea anyways, pre-high school. And then I have a high school, and then my other child wanted to stay in school, so we didn't end up homeschooling her. And my fifth child is already graduated, so there's no homeschooling him. So I missed out. On homeschooling them in the early years, helping them learn to read. I mean, yes, I was invested in their education before that. I helped them out as much as possible, taught them lots of things they didn't learn at school. Every minute of every day is learning, so we did that sort of thing. And I remember one year I did a little extra learning with them during the summer to teach them some character traits. But I missed out, and I didn't realize what I know now. And this may not be true for everybody, but my mental health is better homeschooling. I thought that having the kids home would be like, and that would make things worse. But, and again, this is just true for me, but my mental health is worse in the evenings. I'm not homeschooling in the evenings, so that's not a problem. It gives me something to do. What I was doing the last couple of years of the kids at school is waking up, barely able to keep my eyes open. Again, heavily medicated, but still. Take the kids to school, come home, fall asleep, wake up, go pick up the kids from school, come home, do my day. Start all over again. That's not good for your mental health. I'm just sleeping all day while I was waiting for them. And I didn't mean to sleep all day. Even when the medication was less strong, I just slept all day because there was nothing else to do. I didn't know what to do with my time. I don't work. So obviously if you work, that you have something to do. But if you don't work like me and you're not able to work like me, then yeah, there's housework, there's, personal hobbies and stuff like that. But at some point you just get sick of doing everything, or you feel down or useless, like, because you can't do what you want to do. So you just sleep. And that's not good for your mental health. So had I known that having a purpose every day would be helpful to me, I would have homeschooled sooner. Now, again, this may not work for everybody, but the way that we homeschool is I use mostly free resources, very few paid things, because our budget doesn't allow it. And also I don't use, for the most part, pre-made curriculum. So I decide, like I say, okay, like science, we're going to learn about chemistry this month, or I just ask the kids what they want to learn and we plan it in. But whether I picked it or they picked it, I just go and find free resources on chemistry, get library books on chemistry, download, find YouTube videos on chemistry, and then I plan. So this day we're going to watch this video, and we're going to do this worksheet, and we're going to do this science experiment, and then we're going to do this for math and this for literacy, and I actually plan everything out like a teacher who lesson plans. And while that's definitely not for everybody, that works for me because it gives me something to do even when I'm not homeschooling. So I homeschool, I plan homeschool, I do regular chores and things, and I have my own free time, and that is the structure of my day. I don't have lots of time to spend thinking about what makes my mental health worse and focusing on the stuff that makes it worse. And as for the migraines, I wake up, if I have a migraine, I take regular Tylenol. If it doesn't go away, I take a migraine pill. And even when I have a migraine and I say I've taken too many migraine pills and I can't take more, like today, I am still able to function because I've had them so long that I can do what I need to do. We might do less school, or if it was really bad, we could do no school because we could make up for it. We're already ahead. What's the difference? We don't even homeschool the whole day long. So my point is you can make it work. If you're watching this and you aren't homeschooling yet, or you're just starting to homeschool or considering homeschooling, and you have any kind of health issue that you're wondering if that's going to make it impossible to homeschool, I can't say it won't be a problem, and I can't say that homeschooling will solve all your problems, but you can find out for yourself. Don't give up on homeschooling and then do what I did and go back to homeschooling many years later to regret that you could have homeschooled that whole time. Give it a shot for more than a year, because a few months, the first couple of years actually are crazy and are complicated and unorganized because you're still figuring out what works for you and your family. So give it some time and see if it makes your health issues better or worse or the same, and then decide from there. Adjust things, try some different stuff. Nobody says you have to homeschool the same day or time that the typical schools homeschool. If you have mental health issues and they're worse in the morning, homeschool later in the day. If you get migraines every morning, or every, say, midday at lunchtime, homeschool a bit in the morning, or start earlier and get it all done before your migraine hits. If you have Like, those are not my only health issues. If you have chronic pain, homeschool on the couch or the bed. The point is there's ways to make it work. You don't have to be sitting at a desk or sitting at a table homeschooling from 9 to 5. It doesn't have to be like that. You can work around your and your children's health issues, mental or physical. That's basically what I wanted to say. So I hope you were listening. I hope you're still here, and I hope you're listening the whole time. And I hope, most importantly, that you get something out of this. If you're already homeschooling and you're watching this, I hope that you at least learn that there might be times later in your life when you need to adjust things, and don't give up on homeschooling because things get tough, whether they're from health issues or any other things. Homeschooling is wonderful. It may not be for everybody, but if you feel it's for you, give it a good go. And that's basically my homeschool regret. Not homeschooling the whole time because I thought that it wasn't going to work. So thank you for listening, and I'll remind you again to check the comments below. I hope that if you enjoyed this video that you will like and subscribe, check out my other videos, and check out what the other homeschool YouTubers have to say about their homeschool regrets. Thanks. Bye.